Hi, I'm Earl Greco for Starlix. Today we're going to be showing you some new styles and techniques for the electric bass that I think will really improve your playing. So let's tune up first and then we'll get right to it. We'll start with the open E and then the harmonic. The A string. The D. And the G. Okay, here's lick number 1 from your booklet. Okay, I'm going to take this lick apart for you and show you what's involved. The first part is the snapping. If you've never snapped the bass before, it's a technique where you're hitting down with your thumb and you're plucking up, pulling up, and snapping the string with your index finger. You might want to isolate this part of the lick and just practice it by itself. So you can kind of get the feel of it and get into the groove of it. The second part of the lick, of the beginning part of the lick, goes. Now then there's just a wrist mute, where you're just hitting with your wrist. This part right here is a hammer-on. You're attacking the first note, the A there, but then you're attacking the B with your left hand, but you're not hitting it with your thumb. And then there's a choke. So if we take apart the first part of the lick and play it slowly, it's. That's pretty much the first part. The second part of the lick has a few different things in it. It's basically the same thing. It starts out with the triplet feel. It has a slide with a wrist mute, and this other part here is a triplet with a hammer-on. If you look to your booklet, you'll see the notes that I'm playing, and it's basically very simple. It's the same as we started it out with the triplets, but it's applied differently, different notes. Like that. And now here's lick number 2. This is a new technique, and I'm going to take the beginning of this lick pretty slow so you can see what's involved. It's both hands on the neck. It's a two-hand technique. The first part of this lick is. So what you're doing is you're attacking with these two fingers in the high register here. You want to practice hitting those strings so that you can hit them cleanly and accurately. I'll play a little bit more of the lick so you can see what's involved. Okay, this is lick number 3, which is a total two-hand technique. Okay, lick number 3 is based on an F suspended chord. I'm going to play it very slowly for you so you can see the technique that's involved. The only thing that's making this bass sing out right now is the amount of attack that you're getting from pushing your strings down with your fingers directly. You might want to boost up the volume on the amplifier for live playing. But let's go through this slowly. And now here's lick number 4. This kind of two-handed technique is great when it's applied to a trio situation. It gives the bass a function of a chordal instrument. Also, you can get some bottom if you get creative and play with the low register. Apply this with your own chord progressions and figure out what you're doing with it, and I think you can take this technique a long way. I'm going to break this one down and show you what's involved. That's pretty much what's involved with it. It's difficult to get all the strings to ring out, but you have to develop the technique of hitting them down with your fingers. Like this. Some of them ring a little louder than others, but as long as your bass note and your high register chords ring out the most, you at least can define the chord. Like this. Okay, let's go on to the next lick. Lick number 5. Okay, I'd like to show you the technique that's involved with this. It's a motor snapping, and I'll take it really slow so you can get an idea of what's involved. This requires a lot of practicing. You can sit and watch TV and practice this stuff. It's pretty much muscle coordination, just so you can get your hands doing the right thing. It's more of just attacking down with the thumb and plucking up with the finger. Start out with like this, and so you can get it faster. When you want a note to ring out, you press it down all the way. When you want it to be muted, you just choke it. Just touch the string so it gets choked like that. We'll play this lick slowly for you and show you what's involved. Okay, here's lick number 6. All right, let's take this lick apart and see what's involved. The first part of the lick is thumping with the thumb, and it's a triplet feel. You got to keep that triplet feel through the whole lick. But we'll take it apart. The first part is really a groove in itself. It's a Now if we add the rest of it to it, you'll see what's happening. It's almost like a turnaround to bring us back to that same triplet thumping feel. So here's a second part of the lick. And that, of course, is just the same snapping technique with the... And you can see what I'm doing there with my right hand. It's almost like the triplet that we had from the first lick. So let's see what's going on so far. It's... The last part of the lick, which is that last turnaround, is just hammer-ons, all played with the thumb. That's pretty much the whole lick. I'll play it for you so you can see it all put together. Okay, now let's move on to lick number 7. Lick number 7 is part of a Bach invention. Classical music is great for your reading, for your technique, and for your ears. A lot of classical music can be applied to duets for guitar if the guitar plays the right-hand piano music and the bass plays the left. Okay, let's take this one apart and play it slowly so you can see what's involved. Okay, here's lick number 8. Okay, this is more of the two-handed technique. This lick is based on a B-flat major chord, and it uses all the available tension. When you're playing this lick, make sure that your high register chords that you're playing with your 2 fingers rings out. I'll play this slowly for you and you can see what's involved. Here's lick number 9. Lick number 9 uses the thumb and the 2-finger snap. It's based on an E minor 7 chord, and the 2-finger snap gives you your flat 7 and your minor 3rd. So let's go through it. I'll play it slowly and you can see what's involved. Here's lick number 10. Okay, what's involved with this lick is basically 2 things. One is the pull-off, where you're attacking with this string pressed down first, and then pulling it off to get the second note. And that's an open string. And then the other thing is the sliding harmonic. If you've never gotten a harmonic before, you just press lightly on the string like this, and then keep the same amount of pressure as you slide, and you can actually slide the harmonic up. Don't press the string down to the fret, just press it above it so that you're just applying a small amount of pressure on the string. Here's a slide. So let's take the lick slowly so you can see what's involved. Okay, here's lick number 11. A lick like this means looking at the bass as more of a sequencer or a percussive type instrument rather than its normal function. But it can be applied in a lot of different ways. It's very simple. We're using harmonics here. Those groups and those groups. I'll play it for you slowly. And as long as you can get a harmonic, you can pick this lick up. I find plucking it at the back pickup is easier for making the harmonics ring, and also easier to get the momentum happening. Here's lick number 12. Okay, this lick is more of the two-handed technique. It's total two-hand technique, and it's really the full range of the instrument. I'm getting a low G, and I'm going as high as the high D here. Now again, pay a lot of attention to how you're hitting these notes so that they ring out. Where the intervals created here, you're getting the flat 7, the natural 9, the sharp 9, and the 11. These are all available tensions on a G7 chord. This lick is based on a G dominant 7 chord. I'm going to play it slowly so you can see what's involved. The coordination between both hands is very important. Attacking this in between that is what you've got to get happening. And now lick number 13. This lick uses stops and bass fills in an E blues scale. What you're doing is making a stop on your low E, and it's and here's lick number 14. Lick number 14 is a lot of thumping, snapping, muting, and choking based on a G minor chord. The first descending line is more of that snapping, almost muted snapping feel like we covered before. I'll play the lick slowly so you can see what's involved. Here's lick number 15. This is a chord progression using harmonics. You should try to put together as many progressions as you can and figure out which harmonics can be applied. I'm going to play this one slowly so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Here's lick 16. This lick is based on an A7 chord, and the high register chords that I'm playing with it give us the available tensions, the sharp 9, the 11, and the 13. It has a 16th note feel, and you should mess with this. You should mess with this feel a lot. I'm also playing on my back pickup to give myself a tight sound. I'm going to play this lick slowly and show you what's involved. Here's lick 17. These are all two-note chords. I'm swelling them using a volume pedal. Volume pedal's a nice addition to your equipment, and it's pretty inexpensive. They're all two-note chords except for the last one, which is a B flat, and I'm using harmonics on top of that. So I'll play it for you and show you again what's happening. Here's lick 18. This lick is kind of a sequencer type groove. It incorporates a pull-off and some harmonics. I'm going to play it for you slowly so you can see what's involved. It's also another case where playing with your fingers, especially on the back pickup here, can give you some textures that you just can't get with a pick. So let's go through it slowly and see what's involved. Here's lick number 19. This lick incorporates thumb playing and 1 and 2 finger snaps. It'd be a good lick to play for an introduction of a song or for maybe a bass break in the middle of a song. It's got that. So I'm going to play it for you slowly and show you what's involved. And this is lick number 20. This technique allows you to strum the bass, but because you're using both hands on the neck, you can get wider intervals. I'm going to play it for you slowly, and you can see that I'm strumming with my thumb. My thumb does all the picking, and the rest of my fingers on both hands are making up the chords. Let's take a look at it. Well, that concludes our tape. I hope that you can apply some of these techniques to your own style of playing. The piece of music that you'll hear that accompanies the closing titles is something I put together using 2 of the techniques, the 2-note chords and the 2-hand tapping technique. It's also accompanied by a bass solo over the introduction of it. I hope that you end up being the bass player that you want to be, and I hope this tape helps you. See you next time for Starlicks.
So you can practice that for a while. Metronome always helps, and then you can start playing it a little faster.